What's up, guys? This is Nick Oz.
This is Will.
And this is
The
Surge, Webisode 7, and Flick Pick Friday number 2. Because, yeah, it's been a while since we've done a Flick Pick Friday, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been like the last 2 movies I talked about were Oz the Great and Powerful and Olympus Has Fallen, and now I finally got to see some May movies. And like I said before in some of my previous videos, or some of our previous webisodes, that we didn't have any opportunities whatsoever to see any movies in April. But we did, however, have opportunities to see some movies in May, which is the kickoff to the summer movie season, which is pretty sick if you ask me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got some pretty awesome movies coming out this summer, and I can't wait. Well, we've already seen 2 of them. Well, I've seen 2 of them, but...
I've seen 1.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, it's a good start. It's a good start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got a lot more time, and we got a lot more coming, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. So, the first movie we are going to talk about is Iron Man 3, and that kicked off May 3rd, and stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Ben Kingsley, Guy Pearce, and that chick from The Prestige. I never remember her name.
Me neither.
It sucks. But I'm sorry no disrespect to the actress out there, but sorry, like, I will remember your name in the near future.
Hey man, it also has John, what is his name? John
Favreau, yeah. Like,
Favreau.
he even makes an appearance. And you know what the fun fact is? He didn't even direct this movie.
I know. I don't think he directed the last one either.
Yeah, he did. He directed the first 2. He just didn't direct this one.
Okay.
Yeah, he produced it. So yeah, well, Iron Man 3 takes place I think a couple months, maybe a year after the Avengers, and this is the first official Iron Man sequel that takes place in a post-Avengers world. And Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., is in a pretty tough spot, and he can't shake off what he just experienced in the Avengers, and he can't sleep, and he's only has his mind on one thing, and it's what he does best.
Like a PTS type thing,
like post-traumatic stress. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he kind of goes through, and it challenges him in a very good way. I like the direction that they took this. We're like, look, we're going to challenge him in this kind of a perspective, but we're not going to drift away from the comedic aspect that we made Tony Stark in the other films. And I was like, perfect, that works fine with me.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, out of all the Iron Man movies, and including the Avengers, since Iron Man was in that, this is the darkest I've ever seen out of an Iron Man movie. Like, it has some of that dark intentions.
Yeah, I got that feel when I was watching it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of like a dark comedy, but dark, like, fallen story, but also rise to the occasion thing for Tony Stark to be in, and they handled that pretty well, if you ask me. The character development was still increasing for some of the characters that we know, and some of them kind of lacked a bit, like, in my honest opinion. Like Guy Pearce's character, yeah, we saw a little bit of a backstory, and we saw the direction that they went with him, and it worked for the film. Like, I know for certain, I knew, like, from the time the movie kicked in, and he was like, yeah, we're not gonna see him in another movie, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of those superhero movies where it's gonna be a repetitive villain. And sometimes that could be annoying, sometimes that could be interesting. But yeah, and like, there were some characters that were in there just to be in there, and they handled it well, and it didn't bother me, but it worked well. It's just some things that just needed a little more development, if you ask me, for how the characters were. Do you care to share some of your thoughts from what you've seen?
All I know is that, I don't know, like, it's just perfect action movie. Like, everything about it was just, like, so action-packed.
Yeah, there was a lot of iron in that movie. No pun intended, but a lot of iron.
There was.
Yeah.
There was, definitely. I don't really have much to say. I mean, like, I thought the actors and actresses were good. There was one chick I didn't care about, but...
Was it the chick from The Prestige?
I think so.
Yeah,
like, her character was so random and...
Yeah, well, yeah, and from the beginning, middle, end, I mean, it's funny how, like, you could just think to yourself, well, it could have been played by anybody.
Yeah, it could have.
Yeah, and they're just in there to be in there, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, like, seriously, if I were called, hey, you want to be an extra in an Iron Man 4, it was like, what the hell, I'll do it, kind of thing. And like, if I'm in there just to be in there, what the hell, I'll do it. But
well, there's good money going towards
yeah,
that.
true. I mean, I'd be honored to meet Robert Downey Jr. if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, like, the movie was awesome. It kicked in, and a lot of fans nowadays, like, ever since the movie's release, and people who've seen it in advance, some fans are a little torn by a middle part. Like, if you ask me, we're not going to talk about the spoiler yet. We're not sharing any spoilers, but I just know for certain that some fans out there are going to be a little torn with what they find in the middle part. But some people will roll with it. Some people will be like, really? Oh, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Some people will be, like, torn. Some people will roll with it. Me, I was one of the people that rolled with it, but I do see where the fans are coming from. And, like, because I did kind of leave the movie a little torn with what they did in the middle part. But I was going to say, but still I rolled with it. Like, I mean, it's like when you go to a children's birthday party and you see a clown, or like you like the entertainment of a clown or something. You see him make, like, balloons, and you see him do a magic trick or something, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you hope that he's going to be funny, like clowns usually are supposed to be funny. I mean,
Yeah,
some
they
kids
just
are scared.
freak me out.
Yeah, I was going to say, some kids are scared of clowns. Some people, like me, as a kid, I enjoyed clowns, but, like, there were some clowns who were just were not that funny. And then it was like, I just walked out expecting, I just walked out of there like I just found a clown not to be funny at a children's birthday party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, but, like, I still, well, at least he tried. You know what I'm saying? I walked out with that kind of dignity. But in the end, it was fun. It was awesome. I'll totally buy this on Blu-ray and DVD, whatever it'll be out, and, like, it's just a good addition, and I love the direction that they took with the characters, and I love the challenges that they put Tony Stark through, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with the Avengers too, bro.
That's gonna be good, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So. Now that we've reached our, well, what are your final conclusions before we get to our rating?
Well, I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought it was perfect. The middle part I liked. A lot of people don't, of course, but I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Probably because I don't know the characters that well. You know, I didn't read the comic books, but
yeah.
But I thought it was. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. So. With that said, my letter grading, I'm going to give it a B. Like, it's worth buying on Blu-ray, and it's worth owning, and it's a good addition. I'd watch it every now and then. Probably not as much as the first, and you know what I'm saying? Because the first was my all-time favorite. That and the Avengers, and, like, there's a scale. Like, Iron Man 3 is, like, number 2 on my list when it comes to all the Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... So, yeah, I mean... what's your letter grading?
I'd probably give it a B as well.
All right, yeah, so 2 Bs. There you go. And it's awesome. It's a fun time. We highly recommend you guys to go see this movie. And, yeah, I mean, if you guys are... Oh, so before we go on to our next movie review, we're going to have a spoiler moment, and we're going to have opinions and discussions between Will and I, and hopefully you guys, if you want to leave a comment section below on what you guys feel on the situation. So we're gonna have an annotation of spoilers of our Iron Man review. So the spoiler that we said that we weren't going to talk about in our actual review. Now we're going to be talking about the spoilers and speak our opinions. I keep saying spoilers a lot. So spoiler alert. What's our so here's our topic. So in the middle part, you find out that Ben Kingsley's character, the Mandarin, is not really the Mandarin that we thought he would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's kind of just like a paid actor.
Yeah, he's a paid actor who's gone through a lot. He's
like a crackhead.
Yeah,
type of dude.
Yeah, he's a druggie, and, like, he's one of those kind of actors and stuff. I mean, Ben Kingsley played that role, like, perfectly. He won an Oscar for Gandhi, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a terrific actor. He would have, like, if they made the Mandarin serious or something, like an actual villain, he would have played that role perfectly.
He was playing it perfectly at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, man, that's actually really
Yeah, and then
scary
he played
guy.
that. Then he played that druggie, and he was like, "Well, he plays the druggie well. That's pretty awesome," or something like. At least he's diligent to the role. But
see, but they did it in like this really funny way. Though.
yeah, I mean
like,
that's the director's thing, though. He makes these twists or something. Because have you seen the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I have.
Yeah, he directed that movie. The director Shane Black.
That's Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
yes.
He like the director of that movie directed Iron Man 3, and he tends to make these dark comedies and all and these short twists like we've seen in Iron Man 3, and then when it comes throughout the rest of the movie, like they kept saying Mandarin. I just wished that they just would have let it die at that point, because I'm going, well, there is no Mandarin, so you know.
In a way, there was, like, you can kind of look at what's his name,
Guy Pearce.
Yeah. As the actual Mandarin, but
well, figuratively speaking, I understood that. So it didn't like I said, it didn't drift away for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't drift me out of the ballpark for the direction that they were willing to take the movie. And, like, figuratively speaking, yes, he was the Mandarin, as he said towards the end of the movie. But I was like, but still, I really wish it would have been different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really wish that, like, they would have chosen a different villain, like someone minor, like in the Iron Man series or something, that would have been, like, the druggie or addict or something, and then they would have incorporated the Mandarin in a later movie. That's just my honest opinion, but since I don't know, but like I said, it goes back to what I said in my in the earlier review that we just did, that like it was one of those things that I rolled with, but it still kind of stuck with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind of had me bent a little bit on how I felt about it. But yeah, that's pretty much what we gotta say about the spoilers. Like, you said you didn't mind it, and it was, yes, I could see the comedic standpoint, but I was chuckling a little bit. I kind of saw how funny it was, but from a fan standpoint, I was kind of, it made me do little chuckles where I was like, because honestly, I didn't read like the Iron Man comics, but I did know that the Mandarin was one of the main villains, like kind of like Batman and the Joker. I mean, like that would have been terrible if, like, in the Dark Knight, that the Joker was like some like crack addict or something like that, and then like someone else who was a main villain was like, yeah, I'm the Joker kind of thing, and he's just this normal guy who's a business billionaire kind of thing, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I would have been let down if that happened. I mean, because we wouldn't have gotten the Dark Knight that we have now.
See, I feel like if you did that to the Joker, that would, I feel like there would be like riots, man.
Yeah, a lot of like
that's a character you don't mess with.
Yeah, so now we're going to disappear our spoiler alert thing. So that's what we gotta say.
I was gonna say one more spoiler.
Okay, back to spoiler.
That song, man, at the beginning
of
the blue song. You guys are gonna hear that blue song, you know. Listen up, this is the story. You know that blue song. Oh yeah. I thought that was awesome. That was one more spoiler. I know it was a stupid spoiler, but
yeah,
it's a great song. Anyways,
so spoiler gone. Okay, so that's pretty much what we all got to say. What we got to say about our opinions on that, and that concludes everything that we got to say about Iron Man 3. Now on to a movie I just saw recently. Sorry, Will, that you couldn't join me. I invited you. I tried getting back to you and all, but don't worry. I know you'll see it soon.
No, I'll definitely see it. I saw the first one in theaters. I'm definitely not going to miss this one.
Yeah, so this movie is Star Trek Into Darkness. So Star Trek Into Darkness takes place, I think, a year or maybe a few years after the events in the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
And I love how it opens up. It's just, it feels like Indiana Jones a bit, like where like they're on this random adventure, but then it leads to the main point, or you know what I'm saying? Like what the main like problem is with the what this whole movie is going to introduce. It just starts this small tiny adventure, but then it leads to the actual problem kind of thing. I like movies where they just kick off like that. And at that point, when this movie started off, I was like, this is awesome. This is going to be really awesome. So Star Trek Into Darkness introduces the characters played by Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana. Crap, I always keep forgetting the guy that plays Christopher Pike. The Captain Pike. I'm so sorry, dude. Like, you're very awesome playing that role. But yeah, and John Cho as Sulu, Anton Yelkin as Chekhov, and Simon Pegg as Scotty, and Carl Urban as Dr. McCoy. All those people are back, and then we get new introduction of characters. We get Alice Eve as Carol Marcus, and we got Peter Weller as the father, I think. Yeah, I don't think that's a spoiler. If it's a spoiler, I'm sorry if you guys didn't realize that, but
What?
Peter Weller, he played RoboCop, and
Okay.
yeah, and he's in this movie. He plays one of the Marcuses, or the father of Carol Marcus.
Okay.
And he's Colonel Marcus or something, and like I didn't remember like the ranks that they played of the roles that they played, but anyway, and it also has the awesome Benedict Cumberbatch as the villain, and holy crap, like
What's his name? Is that a spoiler?
That is a spoiler, kind of.
I need to know the spoiler.
I don't think I should tell you yet. Like, if you want to know the spoilers,
Is he Khan?
I'm not telling you. I'm not
Okay.
telling you. I just know that like his alias is John Harrison. That's a given. That like in the trailers and in the reviews, he is reviewed as John Harrison, and I mean revealed, not reviewed. Sorry, we're doing a review.
You know what? Maybe you shouldn't spoil it for me.
Yeah, I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay, I'm just
at
gonna
all.
go.
So yeah, and then it takes place, and a lot of challengers are going through. Benedict Cumberbatch is on a vendetta towards the Federation, and the crew of the Starship Enterprise are going out to stop him, and it takes you on a completely wild ride throughout the entire movie. And seriously, I'm telling you, the character development, like, because in the movie, a lot of people were kind of scared on the directions that they were going to take Chris Pine as Captain Kirk and Zachary Quinto as Spock, because in the first movie, they had a lot of tension and stuff until they became friends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want to see that happen again. But in this movie, they kind of took it in like a different direction with that kind of tension that they had, because like, dude, I'm your captain. You gotta listen to me, dude. Like, I'm trying to.
Oh, they're still at each other.
Yeah,
Kind of.
like, I'm your captain. You gotta agree with me. You gotta trust me, dude. And he's like, yeah, but I can't lie, bro. Seriously. I mean, and then when the Federation itself asks me to tell them the truth, I cannot lie to them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what that kind of tension it has. And I love that kind of friendship too, like when it comes to like work buddies at work or something, where they're like, dude, I told you I filled out those paperworks and I filed the TPS reports, and he's like, why are you telling them that I didn't? And I didn't. He's like, well, because you didn't, and I gotta tell them the truth, and I have to address that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't cover you for so long. It's like one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then with all that said, and like when Benedict Cumberbatch is introduced, he kicks so much ass in this film. I'm serious. And like, he's like really driven. I love the direction that they took with Benedict Cumberbatch's character. I love Benedict Cumberbatch's character, and to be completely honest with all you viewers out there and all you fanboys / girls of Benedict Cumberbatch, I have not watched the BBC series of Sherlock. A lot of people are going to slap me in the face for not watching it. Let's just say, with the time schedule that I have, I just cannot fit it in for me to watch the seasons right now. I'm sorry, but I will indeed watch them because I was so enthralled and involved with the role of Benedict Cumberbatch's character. And he, like I said, I'm so it's so awesome, like of the direction that they took the entire movie with the character. They go on so many, like they're on a chase to go after him, and then it has a lot of twists and turns, and then it intertwines in some way. I can't. It's so hard for me to review a movie that I cannot spoil so much about. I really do not want to. I'm just saying it's everything that you expect out of a J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie and a J.J. Abrams movie in general. Is that it's so pumped up. It's so awesome. The directions with the characters are really completely driven, and they're strong. I nearly choked up in a scene, dude. I'm serious. I was like, yeah.
I'm one of those people. I'd probably start crying.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, don't, please, don't. I'm gonna cry. Like, I was seriously, and I saw this movie in IMAX, dude, which made the experience...
Was it 3D IMAX?
Yeah, 3D IMAX, and which made the experience completely, like, involved for me, because I actually felt like I was on the Starship Enterprise.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I was like, whoa, what? I'm on the Starship Enterprise. Let's hope I'm not wearing a red shirt. So in the end, the direction that they took with this was awesome. I have not been this pumped about a sequel to a movie I have ever seen since I've seen The Dark Knight, like back in 2008. It's still on my mind. It's still awesome. I would love to see it again. I give this movie an A+. That is my rating. That is an A+. I will own it. I will watch it every hour on the daily, and I can't wait to share it with my family. Can't wait to share it with my girlfriend, because I keep telling her, you need to see this movie. If you love Chris Pine, you need to see this movie, because my girlfriend's a Chris Pine fan.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about Star Trek Into Darkness. It's really awesome, and I'd like to continue talking more about like the rest of the stuff that happens into it, but like, let's hope with what I said to you guys in this review that got your attention. It's just so hard. It's so hard to actually analyze a movie that contains a lot of spoilers that I cannot really talk about. And let's say, like, I'll even make a promise to you guys. If you guys loved what I said about what we talked about in our reviews, and since Will himself has not seen Star Trek Into Darkness yet,
Nope.
I myself will possibly post a spoiler review or a spoiler webisode consisting of Star Trek Into Darkness for you guys, for me to tell you what my thoughts were on them and how awesome I found them and all that. I mean, seriously, it's really juicy spoilers, and if you guys want to hear me talk about it and how awesome it is, feel free to leave a comment, give me an email at our email at the bottom link, and I'll make a spoiler webisode and talking about the Star Trek Into Darkness spoilers. So that concludes everything we want to talk. We're reviewing of Star Trek Into Darkness. So now we're going to talk about some trailers that have been out for the past couple of months, I think, or some that just released about a week or two ago. The first one we're going to talk about Ender's Game, which is based off the famous science fiction novel. Like, do you remember that in high school? A lot of my friends in high school read this book. I personally never had the opportunity to read those books, but from what I've seen in the trailers, I mean, I kind of feel like the way the cinematography looks, it really feels like Halo meets Mass Effect meets Junior Star Trek. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
because it has to do with it just has to do with like the junior, like, teenage people, like making these calls, and it has a lot of. I love how it just kind of had these flashes of action moments in the beginning of the trailer, where like you saw these ships flying at each other and shooting at each other, but then
do you know who the director is?
Gavin Hood, and I gotta say, Gavin Hood is really on my offside. The reason why I say that is because guess what? He directed one of the worst superhero movies I have ever seen on the face of the planet.
What is it?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen that because I wasn't sold.
I was not a fan. I was not a fan of it. I hated it. I mean,
Does it like make you think bad about the new one coming
Well,
out?
as soon as I heard Gavin Hood was directing this movie, I had mixed feelings about it because, be it a crappy movie, I'm sorry, I have to censor myself in some of the things. Be it a very crappy movie, the cinematography was okay. Like, at least he knew what he was doing with camera angles and stuff, and I just I hated the fact that the movie sucked. X-Men Origins Wolverine, but. However, since Gavin Hood is directing this movie, and from what I've seen in the trailer, maybe he's just saying, "Look, this is my apology for a franchise that I nearly butchered." So hopefully this one can get you guys going, because I want you to know that I can make movies. I can make good movies. You know what I'm saying?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I think Bryan Singer kind of butchered the X-Men movies.
Really?
Yeah,
I loved the first two.
He totally screwed up X-Men, man. I love X-Men, but
yeah, I loved the first two X-Men movies. I can't wait for X-Men Days of Future Past. That directed by Bryan Singer, and that's coming out. That's coming out next summer.
That worries me though. I like First Class.
Yeah,
First Class is a really good movie to me. But,
yeah, I own that movie. I love that movie too.
But anyways.
But yeah, it has Harrison Ford in this movie, and I love how like he's just military status now in a science fiction movie, kind of like Christopher Pike was in the Star Trek movies that we have. He's all like serious, like Ender, you're the hope that we have. You're the hope that we deserve, or something like that.
I like your old Harrison Ford voice.
It nearly ran the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, that's probably what he's going to say in episode 7. I was like, you never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
It's like, no, dude, we have it. Stop talking about it.
It's so awesome.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, and Ben Kingsley in there. He has this weird facial tattoo in this trailer. I was like, whoa.
Ben Kingsley with the facial tattoo.
Yeah, I was like, he looks like an Aborigine kind of looking guy, and it's just wow.
He's so cool. He can play anything, man. Like
really seriously, he could possibly play Barack Obama for all I care, and well, he'll probably win an Oscar for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'd be really old Barack Obama.
He would need some sort of makeup.
Then he'd have to be taller. So, but anyway, yeah, and like it shows like the challenges that Ender's gonna have to go through. I haven't read the book, like, to be honest. I just know that like it has to do with a war, it has to do with some conflict with like an alien race or something. That's pretty much what I got out of the trailer. It's having me theorize. A lot of people are gonna comment saying, "Read the book, read the book, read the book, read the book." I was like, okay, I need to make time to read the book though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm reading Lord of the Rings. You can't tell me to read these.
Yeah, I mean, I'm freaking trying to finish up on Catching Fire. I can only read one book at a time. I don't have 500 eyes for me to concentrate on like a series of other books. You know. So yeah, I mean, in my honest opinion, this movie could be pretty awesome, or it could be as terrible as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I gotta check out the trailer. I haven't seen it yet, so...
Yeah, so that's the Ender's Game trailer review. Now we're going to talk about one that's been out for a couple weeks now, or maybe a few months.
It's Thor Dark World, man.
Yeah, Thor Dark World looks...
It looks good. I like the first movie. Like, I didn't think I was going to, but I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Hemsworth's going to be back as Thor, and I
don't think anyone else could do that now.
Yeah, me neither. And who else? Like, the chick from Kyle XY is going to be back in that movie, playing Sif. Kat Dennings is only going to be there, I believe, for 5 seconds, because Natalie Portman's going to be in the netherworld of Asgard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In most of the movie. Yeah, and like it goes on, and like apparently in this trailer it shares that like there was darkness before there was life on Earth, kind of thing. Like, yeah. Like I was like, whoa, it's pretty interesting if you ask me, coming from a land that I've never really fully discovered. Because I really enjoyed Thor, and I really enjoyed like the directions that they took with it and all, and I was never really familiar with the Norse god religion, if you know what I'm talking about. I was fully...
Thor almost got me interested in that stuff, you know? Like, I want to get into that stuff, man.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, And this one, I really feel like it's going to challenge Thor in a very, very dark, very deep way. It's going to it's going to reach his roots as a god because he comes back with Natalie Portman going, okay, I need you to come with me. I was like, I think you made a mistake there because you're taking her with you to the place where there is danger that you're talking about. And if you want to make her safe, why would you bring her with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the end, like, I do agree with the fact that he does want to see Natalie Portman again, and yeah, I just think it was a relationship mistake. I mean, if I found out that there was a second 9/11 going on in, like, you know what I'm talking about, in a situation, and I would have been like, and my girlfriend was in the middle of it, I mean, I would not bring her with me to the place where that would happen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, I would have been like, yeah, there's danger, I need you to come with me. I'm like, no, I need you to stay here, you know what I'm saying? Like, that may have been a terrible...
I need to bring one of the other Avengers, you know? Don't bring her. So
yeah, I would have, like Black Widow, but Black Widow's going to be in Captain America too, so, but yeah, I also want to say, like, no disrespect to 9/11, I was just saying in an analogy form, like, if there was another 9/11 thing happening, that, like, I better stop there.
Yeah, let's just stop.
Yeah, so, I apologize if that was offensive, but I mean, like,
You're cool, man.
okay, I'm sorry. I mean, like, I do find 9/11 to be a very complete tragedy. But anyway, but yeah, and, like, I really feel like there's going to be dark elves in this movie. This is going to be awesome because they're going after Thor. That's probably...
There's going to be elves in the movie?
Dark elves. Just dark elves. And it's going to be awesome.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't see that, man.
Yeah, and then the trailer ends with, like, a cliffhanger, if, like, knowing if Natalie Portman's gonna die or not, and then it leads to this next scene, which makes me go, this is gonna be awesome. Like, that when he goes to that, like, lower pit or that isolated prison or something where like, you hear Loki's voice, you must be truly desperate to need my help.
Just for real, like,
yeah,
I like Loki.
Yeah, Loki's so awesome.
The guy that plays him is
Tom Hiddleston, he's amazing. And that could be, I mean, I love the direction that they're taking with this one, and I don't even know what they're going to do with Loki this time. Yes, he may possibly help Thor
may make it
fight
worse.
But either that or he could escape in his grasp by going, yep, I'm getting revenge on Earth or something with Thanos over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, you may not know. Like, I don't know if he's going to die in this one. I don't know if he's going to escape on this one. Or if he's just going to make the matters worse.
Isn't the guy that plays Chuck in that show?
Chuck,
isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing one of the companions.
Okay.
He's playing one of the companions in there. So yeah, that's our Thor trailer review. Now we're going to talk about this independent movie. I wouldn't say independent, but not a very well-known movie that has a lot of hype. But I really want to talk about this because it does look really interesting. And this movie's called Elysium. And it's directed by the guy that gave us District 9 for all you sci-fi fans out there.
Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp. Okay. Yeah, and Matt Damon's in this movie. Jodie Foster's in this movie. The guy
I think this is her last movie, too. I think she's
oh, really?
Yeah, she's done acting after this. I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting. But yeah, and Charlton Copley from District 9 is going to be in this movie, and, like, they didn't reveal a whole lot of, like, well-known actors that are going to be in this movie, in this trailer. But in this movie, it has to do with like this, like, fictional planet, or this fictional, like, safe haven planet or system or whatever, where everyone's clean, everyone's prosperous and stuff, and, like, not sick and all. They're healthy and wealthy, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, they're like the golden children of just clean. You know what I'm saying? Of just the clean stuff. And then it goes back to Earth, where everything is just dirty now. Everything is just sickness and diseased and disastrous destruction, and it kind of makes me feel like Earth turned into Tatooine for some reason. You know, Tatooine from Star Wars. Yeah. And then like, all these people have cancer, they have these diseases, some of them, like, and I love this kind of stuff, because I go, what if this were to happen? like if this world were to be, if our world were to be like in this post-apocalyptic situation, how far would we go to this place where we'd want to be safe again? You know what I'm saying? And Matt Damon plays this guy that has cancer, and he really needs to get to Elysium to save himself or whatever,
Yeah.
and or save his family, make a difference. Kind of like it kind of reminds me of like a science fiction version of Robin Hood with that kind of thing, like the poor and the desolate and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like are on Earth, and the rich and the prosperous and safe and healthy and wealthy people are in Elysium.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon has to shoot himself up to Elysium to go, no, none of you guys deserve this, or kind of like, he's like, you need to concentrate on the real problem here. I mean, it doesn't really reveal too much of like what the purpose is besides Matt Damon wanting to go to Elysium and trying to like get a cure, or like it makes you think, why does he need to go to Elysium besides you know what I'm talking about, besides like getting healthy, or like making like it doesn't give you too much stability as to like what the purpose is for him going to Elysium for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just really interested. And there's a lot of action that happens in this trailer. He's like shooting up robots. He's like, and they drill like machine stuff in him to make him like impervious to that kind of stuff. It's just, oh my god, it's amazing coming from a Neil Blomkamp movie.
Yeah.
I just remember back when they were trying to find directors for Star Wars Episode 7, a lot of my friends in particular, wanted Neil Blomkamp to do it if J.J. Abrams weren't to sign on, or like someone as awesome as him, you know what I'm saying? And I would have been like, well, that would be interesting.
It would have been cool, but at the same time, it probably would have been weird, because his visual style probably wouldn't fit the Star Wars.
Yeah, probably, maybe. Yeah, I also would have, I mean, in my honest opinion, I really think he should go back to make a Halo movie.
Yeah, well,
because I
don't know if that's going to happen, because they're making a TV series right now.
Oh yeah, I heard about that with Steven Spielberg attached to it. Yeah, like that's pretty much what I did here, but only we can find out soon. So So from what I've seen in this trailer, it looks awesome. I will make my time to see this movie, and I'll probably have a Flick Pick Friday review on it in August when it comes out, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So that concludes our trailer reviews, and this concludes our Flick Pick Friday Part 2 on Webisode 7. And we have what we have up and coming for our next Flick Pick Friday. We're going to talk about Fast and Furious 6, and we're going to possibly talk about Hangover Part 3.
But we are for sure going to talk about Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to I can't wait to talk about Man of Steel. It's going to be awesome.
I grew up with Superman, you know.
Yeah,
like
me
as
too.
A kid,
what child did not grow up with Superman?
I ran around in Superman clothes.
Yeah, I actually had Superman pajamas. Yeah, really.
Did you have a cape?
Yeah, I even had a cape with
awesome.
it. That is awesome. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, those are our 3 reviews that we're going to be coming up towards like the last week of May and towards the beginning of June. And our up and coming webisodes, we still got our Warped Tour 3-part webisode trying to get together, and we're probably going to talk about in segments on like possibly around June 4th, and May 28th and June 4th, and possibly June 12th, or I don't know. We're still trying to work out dates, and we're trying to work out schedules and what to share and what not to share. So yeah. So anyway, I'm Nick Oz.
I'm Will.
And this is The Surge, Webisode 7 on Flick Pick Friday Part 2, signing off. Thank you for listening.